what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see. When you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on. Alright, already, the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so strong. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on. Alright, already, the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
When you're low and your knees can't rise, you feel helpless and you're looking to the sky. Some people would say to accept defeat. Well, if this is fate, then we'll find a way to cheat. 'Cause we'll say a little prayer. If the answer isn't fair, you know you can call on me when you need somebody. You can call on me when you can't stop the tears from falling down. From falling down. When you weary and the road is dark, and I'll guide you with the beating of my heart. And if the Calvary and the help don't come, well then we'll find a way to dodge a smoking gun. And so we'll say a little prayer. But if the answer isn't fair, then call on me. When you need somebody, call on me. When you can't stop the tears from falling down. You can't stop the tears from falling down.
Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. And here's your host, Caleb McEwen. Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. And here's your host, Caleb McEwen. Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. And here's your host, Caleb McEwen. Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. And here's your host, Caleb McEwen. Live from assorted corners in the Twin Cities, it's
But
Brave New
if
Workshop
you could,
Goes Viral.
Pretend like
and
you are
here's
in
your
a
host,
huge
Caleb
group whenever
McEwen.
it is possible.
Live from
Scream,
assorted
yell,
corners in the
laugh,
Twin Cities,
cry,
it's
do
Brave
whatever
New
it is
Workshop
you
Goes
need to
Viral.
do in order to
And
enjoy yourself just like you're out with a big group of people. Now, if you have never joined us before, we are the Brave New Workshop Comedy Theater, and we are the oldest, longest running comedy theater in America. And during the stay-at-home orders here in Minnesota, we are doing streaming shows every Saturday night so that you can bring us into your living room, since we cannot bring you into our theater in downtown Minneapolis. And this week has been quite a week. Let's share a few things that have happened. First of all, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp announced plans to restart his state's economy despite having over 20,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 and roughly 900 deaths. Kemp announced a plan to reopen certain businesses, including bowling alleys, gyms, and massage therapists, as these are essential to life in Georgia. Yes, if there is one thing we all know about the Deep South, it's that their entire economy is based on bowling, working out, and massages. That's what the Confederacy was fighting for, a state's right to play a Yankee game where a body rolls a black ball to knock down a bunch of white pins standing in formation, work out the vapors doing some burpees and squatting, and then go to a dark room to listen to Enya while being rubbed by a stranger named Jasmine. Glory, glory, glory. President Trump then reversed his stance with Democratic states, urging Kemp to take a slower, more cautious approach. It was rumored that President Trump changed his mind about restarting the economy in Georgia after watching a documentary on an infection spreading in and around Atlanta. Regardless of how Trump randomly came to this point of view, can you imagine the terror that grips you as a politician when Donald Trump says, whoa, 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 slow down. Maybe we haven't thought this through. Kim Jong-un may or may not be in a coma, brain dead, completely dead, or just napping. We don't really know. A team of doctors from China may have been sent to help save the North Korean dictator's life, or Kim Jong-un might have died weeks ago, and North Korea has simply turned Weekend at Bernie's into a political thriller. But the story of the week that makes you sing "Every Little Thing Is Gonna Be All Right Now" is when the leader of the free world, who has absolute authority, by the way, suggested that injecting sunlight and disinfectant into the lungs might be the way to beat COVID-19 once and for all. The best part of this horrifying moment was watching Dr. Deborah Birx in the background as her soul slowly left her body. You can see her picturing the cult of Trump followers trying to cleanse themselves by pouring Clorox into vaporizers and using flashlight suppositories. She's imagining the fallout of red-hatted true believers grabbing jugs of Mr. Clean and screaming, "Shots, shots, 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 everybody!" And looking back and seeing her 3 decades of service, her instrumental research in the fight against HIV and AIDS, and her distinguished career as a military physician, all leading up to the moment when an orange man gives the rambling suggestion that huffing bleach is the answer. Dr. Birx, we feel your pain and we salute you. And that brings us to where we are now. Now, many of us been living in isolation for quite a while, and if you are single or you are dating or you are in a new relationship, that makes this whole experience that much more bizarre. So we thought that we would take this opportunity this week to talk to someone who was a true expert on love and relationships and what it means to be connected to somebody during this difficult and, as everyone is so fond of saying, unprecedented time. So please join me in welcoming Aphrodite 2.0, the goddess of cyber love. Hello there, Aphrodite.
Well, hello, Caleb. Hello, all you lovers out there. Can you feel it? Love truly is in the air, isn't it? It's not just a deadly disease. It's also love.
Yes. Well, love is truly in the air, but I feel like love has to have changed a little bit based on the situation we now find ourselves in. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yes, Caleb. Yes. No matter what, though, humans are meant to love, and it's my job to bring it to you. Yes.
Now, Aphrodite 2.0, I understand that there is a traditional idea of love, but so much of the traditional idea of love is about two people being together in close proximity.
Mm.
And dating nowadays, in this particular situation, a lot of times that means that you are together, but you are together remotely. Maybe you're talking on the phone, maybe you're texting, maybe you are talking on a webcam like we are right now. Do you feel like that love can be as fulfilling as the love of someone who is actually in the room with you?
Oh, yes, of course, of course. Now, nothing can compare to human touch. That much is true. But I will say, human touch doesn't just have to be from another person. Why, you could experience touch and have somebody hundreds of miles away, as long as you're willing and able to help yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna back up and take a little bit of issue with the statement human touch doesn't have to come from someone else. Now, I feel like by definition that's what human touch is.
Well, Caleb, you're thinking inside a very tiny box. Now, the goddess I have granted humans many things that they can rub up against. Oh, take the bark of a tree, for example, or an old bath towel, or I don't know, a tube with some jelly inside of it. When there's a will, there's a way, Caleb. Love, love can be in the in the hand, in your very own hands, if you try hard enough. That's for sure. And
Okay.
almost
Okay.
every pant. Yes, Caleb.
Yes, I feel like we all grasp where you're heading with this, Aphrodite. But what I'm asking is, if you truly want to connect with another person, do you feel that that is something that can happen over a distance? I mean, there are a lot of people that say that long distance relationships are immediately doomed.
Mm.
Do you believe that?
Oh, yes. Well, yes. Currently, in our human forms, we are not supposed to be touching each other. But
Hmm.
when that happens, I just turn into a deer and I roam the streets and I wait for people to pet me. And that seems to be working just fine.
Now, does it concern you that there are some confirmed cases of animals testing positive for COVID-19, specifically like house cats, I believe?
Oh, well, I mean, where were those cats? You know, are the cats washing themselves? Are the
I imagine that they are, but they're
are those
probably
kittens
doing it
staying
in
clean?
what would be the least hygienic way when it comes to trying to stop the
Mhm.
spread of COVID-19. You know,
Yes, I mean,
like
if the
if we
kitten
cleaned ourselves by licking ourselves and then going out into public, I feel like that would cause a host of problems.
exactly exactly, Caleb. Well, I always say, since I had to upgrade with everyone else, love is very different now than it used to be.
Hmm.
I, for example, as 2.0, I think you can just look really hard into somebody else's eyes, and suddenly there's a spark. Or you can share a bit of your very coveted coveted hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer in a pinch can be an excellent lubricant. You have to work quickly, though, because it will evaporate and eventually sting. And that is not as fun.
I would
Unless
just
you're into pain, which, I don't want to yuck your yum.
All right.
Whatever you get down with.
Thank you for not yucking our yum, Aphrodite. I appreciate that, but I want to assure all of our visitors that we stand with the scientific community in stating that disinfectants are to be used for external use only. All
Oh,
right.
yes,
Despite what we're hearing in press briefings, that I feel like is a hard stop right there.
yes. Anywhere, yes, by all means. Only put hand sanitizer where you would put honey or melted chocolate
Okay.
or wax
All right.
or or feathers.
All
If
right.
you wouldn't put a feather in there, don't put hand sanitizer in it either.
All right. Let's just let's just set physical connection aside for just a second, if we could.
Yeah.
I realize. Do you feel that an emotional connection could develop between two people who are not in the same room together?
Yes, of course, of course. Like I said, there's always room for love. And when, sexual or lustful love can't be had, there's many other types of love, like, oh, I don't know, sharing your nachos or compassion in general, or I don't know, going into the other room and being very far away from somebody just for a fucking second, because that's also very compassionate and very loving in these strange times.
I again would caution our listeners to not share nachos with strangers. I feel like that is the antithesis of social distancing.
Yes, yes. My suggestion is each person have their own nachos and pretend like they're sharing.
Okay. All right. Has there ever been a time in your life, Aphrodite 2.0, when you have developed a connection with someone at a distance?
Oh, yes. Well, one time, Caleb, I fell deeply in love with a waterfall, and I kept trying to hug it. And every time I did, my human form would get drowned, and I would just die a slow human death and have to regurgitate myself back into God form, recreate a new heavenly body, come back down, and then talk to the waterfall. But the waterfall couldn't say anything because water doesn't usually talk. I mean, it does babble. It does babble, Caleb,
See,
but it doesn't really talk.
I feel like you are just proving my point here once again by showing us that actual physical contact can be very dangerous. And again, I asked you if you've ever developed an emotional attachment to something from afar, but you were literally touching something that was repeatedly killing you.
Oh, from afar.
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course. Of course. Well, one time, Zeus laid out a thunderbolt, and I was unable to touch it because thunderbolts are not safe. And I just had to look at it from way over on the other side of the Mount Olympus and just masturbate for a very long time. I mean, that was the only way to get close. Yes, yes,
All
yes,
right. So clearly,
yes.
clearly
I
this
was nowhere near it,
conversation,
though.
I've lost complete control of this interview.
Ah,
You have an agenda that you are working towards here, which is, for
no,
lack of any better
Caleb.
word, just purely disturbing.
I,
Um,
Caleb, my point is that you have to keep trying. Even though things are hard, you got to make them harder before they'll get soft again. Do you see where I'm going with this, Caleb?
yes, I think in an incredibly roundabout way, what you were saying is you've got to put yourself out there. But
Yes.
again, I feel like this is a difficult time in order to make that happen. I mean, people are feeling very isolated. They are having trouble making connections, particularly with new people. What advice do you have for someone who wants to meet someone new, but is stuck in the current situation where they can't hug the waterfall, as the case may be?
Well, Caleb, I suggest that we use our wit to draw people near. A lot of times when people go online, they'll start a conversation with, "Sup, hottie, wanna boink?" And often that will work. But in these times where you can't use language in the same, you might have to use more words like, "Sup, hottie. Do you want to talk for a while until we both eventually get off on our own by our own means?" And I think that's very nice to do. That's a very nice way to get to know someone.
I feel like you are accelerating relationships at a rate that it may not be emotionally healthy. Now, and I recognize that may not be what everyone is searching for. Maybe that is what they are actually looking for. But I am specifically trying to talk about an emotional connection between two people that is not necessarily based on the physical and is between people who have not met before.
I'm so, of course.
Okay, all right.
Again, I would suggest writing down with a pen and paper how you feel. Like, how do I love thee? Let me count. And then make a list. Everybody likes lists, especially type A type people. And there's a lot of them out of work right now. And they would love to read a list that wasn't their own. Then you attach it to a bottle or a arrow and just shoot it out into the air.
Now, with all of the things that we have to worry about right now, the last thing that I think anyone wants to have to think about is just random arrows with notes on them flying through the air in the greater metropolitan area. I mean, surely you're not suggesting that we should just fire arrows willy-nilly.
Well, Caleb, no one's on the street, so you'll be able to see them coming. Well, how do you suggest an email? An email, Caleb?
I don't know. There
Electronic mail?
There are online services. There are dating sites. There are social media. I feel like there are other options out there that don't involve potential impalement.
Well, falling in love electronically would be a hard thing to do, but I hear it does happen. So perhaps, I don't know, maybe you could just sit down in a room and type out your feelings and send it to somebody whose picture you like and hope to God that they send you a message back. And then over time, you strike up a conversation and then you move into a face call or a Zoom call. And then eventually, when your souls and hearts connect, you can masturbate in the safety of your own rooms.
Okay, that may be the single most sociopathic statement I have ever heard in my life. Okay, Aphrodite, if I could ask right now, is there anything that you would offer up as advice to people who feel lonely and disconnected right now?
Yes.
What could you tell them that would make them feel better about their current situation?
Well, of course, this is only temporary, and love always finds a way. It is the human condition, and trust that I am hard at work up here in the clouds, making love rain down. And just think, when all this is over, there's going to be so many horny singles just waiting to meet you. So store it all up so you can get it all out in a really, really reckless way.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
all right.
it's going to get weird. Oh, yeah.
It already has.
Hand sanitizer for when it gets weird.
Okay, all right. I just have to say, you keep saying that love finds a way.
Yes.
And that is so close to the Jeff Goldblum line from Jurassic Park. Life finds a way that, or Sam Neill or whoever said it, that led to dinosaurs slaughtering an island's worth of people. Do you feel that love can be dangerous?
Oh,
The current situation notwithstanding?
Of course, love is more dangerous than those dinosaurs. I mean, think about it. Love makes us do crazy things, like try and, have sex with a waterfall, or like, God forbid, you put your naughty parts in some marshmallow fluff.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
just stop.
That's some.
Just stop. Just stop. All right. I'm drawing the line at low rent Top Chef. Okay. That is number one. You have ruined a delightful childhood snack for me now, and not to mention the fact that this entire conversation is basically an HR training seminar waiting to happen. Okay.
I'm sorry, Caleb. I'm an ancient Greek god. We don't understand all this PC culture. I'm trying my hardest, but it's very different up here on Mount Olympus. We don't sexually stifle ourselves. Everyone's just
Clearly.
everyone's just humping their chariots and just having a great time. I mean, we're gods. We sometimes I don't even give myself legs for the day, so I'm just like, I don't even have legs. I'm just floating around, so I can feel an extra breeze on my hoo-ha.
All right.
What, because sometimes legs get in the way. I'm sorry, kid.
Love finds a way, and sometimes legs get in the way. Those are the things that you want people to take away from this conversation, Aphrodite.
Yes, and never stop believing. Never stop.
All right.
Always have. There's love just around the corner.
It is fitting that we end this interview with poorly paraphrased Journey lyrics. Thank you so much, Aphrodite 2.0, I think. And hopefully we will have a chance to talk to you again sometime after we have taken more time to go over the parameters of this interview. Let's hear it for Aphrodite 2.0. Thank you.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye indeed, as this will probably be our last streaming show ever after everything that just transpired. If you are feeling isolated, we know that is clearly something that a lot of people are experiencing right now under our current conditions. We want you to know that you are not alone, and that is not a feeling that is isolated just to what we are going through right now. A number of years ago, we did a show at the Brave New Workshop that was about love and feeling isolated from other people in Minnesota, and we thought we would share a couple of little promo videos that we made for that show years ago that somehow seem maybe even a little more relevant nowadays. Let's take a look at the first one now. And there you have it. It's not something new. We've all felt isolated, shut off from the rest of the world, and we've all been looking for love for quite some time. Now, we are going to take a little bit of a break right here, a little bit of an intermission in the middle of our show. Once again, we would like you all to know that you are watching The Brave New Workshop Goes Viral, and The Brave New Workshop is the oldest, longest-running comedy theater in America. Currently, right now, we are coming to your living rooms because people cannot come to our theater in downtown Minneapolis. And if you would like to support the Brave New Workshop during this time, you can do so through any one of the links that you find in the descriptions on whatever social media platform you may be watching this streaming show, or on the website at bravenewworkshop.com if you are watching there as well. We're going to take about a 5-minute break, and then we will be back with more fun. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Life became dangerous the day we all became famous. No one cares if you're happy, just as long as you claim it. How can we change this the day we all became famous? No one cares if you have it, just as long as they think you do. Just as long as they think you do. Just as long as they think you do. I don't need the foot, just need you to think I kick it. I don't need the wood, just need you to think I hit it. I don't need the good, just need you to think I did it. I don't need the good, don't need the good, don't need no. Life became dangerous the day we all became famous. No one cares if you're happy, just as long as you claim it. How can we change this the day we all became famous? No one cares if you have it, just as long as they think you do. 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 I don't need the word, just need you to think I said it. I don't need to learn, just need you to think I get it. I don't need your sermon, just need you to think I read it. I don't need your sermon, don't need your sermon, don't need it. Life became dangerous the day we all became famous. No one cares if you're happy, just as long as you claim it. How can we change this the day we all became famous? No one cares if you have it, just as long as they think you do. 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 No real estate in the real world. How can you stop something not even there? No real estate in the real world. We're going down and we don't even care. Life became down. No real estate in the real world. Hey, we all became fair. How can you stop something not even there? How can we change? No real estate in the real world. No one cares if you have it. Just as long as they think you do. 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 Remember when we all got drunk? I ended up with 2 broke thumbs. Oh my god, I felt so dumb. Lucky me. I wrote a song that no one knows. I played a show and no one showed. Oh my god, I felt so alone. Lucky me. When all is going wrong and you're scared as hell, what you gonna do? Who you gonna tell? Maybe
100 bad days made 100 good stories. 100 good stories make me interesting at parties.
100 bad days made 100 good stories. 100 good stories make me interesting at parties. Yeah, no, I ain't scared of you. No, I ain't scared of you no more. No, I ain't scared of you. No, I ain't scared of you no more. Remember when she broke my heart, waiting for the waiter to return my card, right as I let down my guard. Lucky me. We had to work a bit more hard, only just to get a little bit less far. We could laugh about it all tomorrow, couldn't we? When all is going wrong and you're scared as hell, what you gonna do? Who you gonna tell? Maybe
100 bad days made.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Brave New Workshop Goes Viral. So happy to have all of you here. If you are just turning in, the Brave New Workshop is the oldest, longest running comedy theater in America. And while we cannot do shows in downtown Minneapolis, we are coming live to your living room every Saturday night. If you would like to help support the Brave New Workshop, you can do so by clicking on any one of the links that are available in the descriptions on whatever social media platform you are watching this live stream on, or on the Brave New Workshop site itself, if that's where you happen to be watching this evening. But mostly, we just want everyone to know that we are so grateful that you are all here, and we hope that you are having a good time. Now, before the break, we were talking a little bit about love and isolation during this COVID-19 craziness that's going on around all of us. And I'm intentionally trying to avoid the phrase the new normal, as that seems like it is utterly hopeless. The current situation is slightly more applicable, I think, and gives us hope for down the road things being different than they are right now. And when we were talking about that, we shared a promo that we made for a show a number of years ago at the Brave New Workshop that was about love and relationships, that also had to do a little bit with being very isolated and alone. And we thought we would share another one with you right now because it seems relevant in a completely different way today. Let's take a look.
Jonathan!
And welcome back, everybody. Now, we also want everyone to know that just because people are isolated right now, that doesn't mean that there aren't chances to make new connections. And we need feel-good stories now more than ever these days. So when I heard this, I just had to share it with all of you. Now, a local man who suffered from severe burns on his face heroically volunteered to give up his hospital bed to make room for COVID patients. And when Marissa Sjogren heard the news, she just had to help, and she has volunteered to cohabitate in his residence during the stay-at-home order to help him convalesce until he completely heals. Now, it's been just over 30 days, and she is about to remove the bandages from his face for the very first time. So let's go to her now. Hello, Marissa? Marissa?
What's that? Oh, how could I just put off paying the electricity bill? Well, I told you, silly. The government is going to take care of it. Yeah, they will. Well, I mean, that's what I saw on TV. Or at least that's what I think I saw on TV. I mean, I haven't really been paying much attention. I was all wrapped up in watching Outlander again. And I didn't even realize that there was a stay-at-home order. I mean, why go out when I have everything I need right here? I mean, who needs electricity with all the sparks between us, right? Oh my gosh, you're so bad. No, you are. No, you are. Oh, no one has ever understood me like you do.
Marissa.
Oh.
Marissa, can you hear me? Clearly, you can't. You're live. This is Caleb McEwen from the Brave New Workshop. How are you doing?
Oh, hi, Caleb. Sorry, we're just two crazy lovebirds here. It is so easy to lose track of time.
Oh, I didn't realize that you two were a couple.
Oh, well, we weren't when it started, but let me just say, in the words of Aphrodite 2.0, love finds a way. So glad that you could be here with us on this big day. To think, after all these hours and hours together, we've fallen in love. Can you believe it? And I've never even seen his face.
Wow, that is truly remarkable.
Isn't it? It's like we're in a movie starring Hugh Grant or something. I mean, could I be this lucky? It's like, come on, Marissa. It's like, what are the chances? I would just be like randomly walking through the burn unit at a hospital by my house, just looking for someone to talk to me that couldn't walk away. And there he was, just waiting for me.
Well, that kind of sounds like you did it on purpose.
Caleb, I'm the luckiest girl. That's when I knew that he should do the rest of his recovering at home under my close supervision, despite what all the doctors and nurses were pleading with me not to do.
Okay, wait. So you went
And now
against
look at us. Look at us, Caleb, in love, about to see each other's faces for the first time. Oh, I'm so nervous. It's time to take off the bandages, okay? Here goes.
All right.
Oh my
I
gosh.
really feel like a medical professional should be there for this.
Here goes nothing. All right, honey. Let's do this nice and easy. Wait. Are are you are you a balloon? Wait. Have you been a balloon the whole time? Have I just been sitting in a room talking to myself for months and I never noticed you never responded? Wait, am I a bad listener?
Let's hear it for Marissa Sjogren, everyone, and her newfound love. May they never deflate. Now, we thought the idea of someone trying to go on a date for the first time over Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or something like that was something that was just bizarre enough that we needed to explore it on this show. So in just a second here, I am going to invite Lauren back, and the two of us are going to pretend to go on a virtual date for the first time, over the internet, through webcams, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we asked people a number of different things online. And one of the suggestions that came back, or one of the things that people found interesting now, is the idea that toilet paper might be a more romantic gift now than a bouquet. So we are going to use that to inspire what you are about to see. So we will be improvising an online or virtual date over Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or any of those other platforms. Two people getting together for the very first time. And action. Hello?
Hey.
It's so great to actually hear your voice instead of just type back and forth.
I know, right? Like, it's like, wow, that's what you look like. You're
Yes.
Kyle, right? This is Kyle.
Yes, and Lorraine?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. It's like kind of an old fashioned name, but like, I like it. It has two R's, so that's kind of cool.
I always thought the two-R'd Lorraine was the best kind.
I know, right? Like I've seen it with one R, but like that's like not as common.
No, it's like someone who's just in a rush and doesn't want to spell it correctly.
Isn't that funny?
I know. Look, I just have to say that this is weird and this is awkward, and I didn't really know what we should do. Like, I made you dinner, but it's here, and I thought I could eat it and describe it to you. But
like, I love that. That's so innovative. I really love that. Yeah, like if you could just like eat it and then like slowly describe it to me, I'll just like eat some of these peanuts and like pretend.
That's great. I think imagination is so important.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was hoping that you would be like innovative and like interesting and like you really seem to be so far.
Well, thank you, and I want you to know that I was trying to be sensitive to the times, and I hope you won't think that this is too forward. But instead of having flowers delivered to your apartment, I put in an order, and you're going to be getting a bulk delivery of toilet paper.
Oh my god, that is so sweet. Like that is like the sweetest thing
Oh,
ever.
thank you. I'm so glad. I was very nervous about it. I didn't know how you would take it. I didn't know if you would think that I was implying something. And it's the good kind too. It's not like the rough bark like stuff that you get in train stations and airports. It's the kind with the bears.
Oh my gosh, Kyle, that is so sweet. Because seriously, like flowers die, but like butts need to be wiped forever, you know? So
Well,
like that's so sweet. Like honestly, and I was like down to my last 2 rolls, so that'll be just in time.
well, I'm so thankful.
That is seriously so sweet. I haven't even been able to get toilet paper. I've just been using like old takeout napkins for like a
Yeah.
very long time.
Yeah, I made a bidet out of an old Dawn bottle.
Oh my god, you're so handy.
Well,
I've never dated a handy guy before.
I don't know how handy I am. I mean, I try.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a few questions that I like to ask everybody I go on a date with.
Okay.
Okay, like if you were a kitchen appliance, like what kind of kitchen appliance would you be?
Oh God, the amazing thing is I sometimes will just lay there awake at night and think about that particular question.
Are you kidding me, Kyle?
No, I'm not. I'm serious. I've got to say that after a lot of thought, I am almost certain that I would be a toaster oven.
Oh my god!
I mean,
Why?
I'm compact. I'm versatile. I'm quick. I can do the traditional and the new. I feel like a toaster oven is probably the appliance that would best represent me. What would you be?
Oh my god! Thank you. First of all, that was a great answer. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
asking. I don't know. Like when I was younger, I always thought that I would be like a KitchenAid mixer because I like lots of bright colors. I think I'm versatile, and you can't get me until we're married. But like lately, I've been feeling like more like like a coffee, like one of those coffee things that you can only make like one cup at a time, like a Keurig.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I'm like convenient and like fast and just like desperate for like, yeah, so that's where I'm at now.
I think we're all feeling a little bit desperate. I
Yeah,
mean, I think we would all take a single cup if we could get it.
I mean, right? Like, right?
Yes, I
I'm
know
so
it.
glad you answered this question because, like, one of the guys, like, not to talk about other guys, but like, I know you have a past and so do I. Like, let's just admit that.
This is the first date I've ever been on.
Are you kidding me, Kyle?
No, I'm not. Like I was doing the social distancing thing way before it was cool because I have never been cool.
Kyle, are you kidding me right
No, this is the most I've ever talked to a human being that wasn't directly related to me by blood.
now? Oh my God, you're like really doing well.
Oh,
Like
thank
I
you.
thought you were like a serial dater like me. Like seriously, I've gone on so many dates. Like sometimes I forget like who I'm out with.
Oh,
Like I almost called you Reggie, and then I was like, he certainly doesn't look like a Reggie. So I like went with Kyle. Thank God I was right.
You have no idea how much I have always wanted to be a Reggie. I feel like that Reggie is the toaster oven of names.
Now, Kyle, seriously, like Reggies are not all they're cracked up to be. They're usually very athletic and like very wealthy and very married.
Like when I think of Reggie, I immediately think of Reginald Vell Johnson.
Oh my,
From
see, I love how your mind works. Like,
Thank you.
who is that? And like, why should we even care? Like, what are you even talking about? Like, what is that?
He's one of the greatest actors of all time.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he was on
So he's
Family
like-
Matters.
Oh my God. So he's like a Hemsworth of like old times. Like an old timey Hemsworth.
I think that he would welcome that comparison. Yes.
Oh my God, that's so fantastic. It's like Reginald Vell Jackson sounds like he should be like Phantom of the Opera or something. Like he should just like be wearing like a plate on his face and like singing in candlelight or whatever.
Yeah, it is the upscale version of Reggie, that's for sure.
Yes. I like love how your mind works. Like seriously, so many guys that I've dated are like, oh, you know, like I'm just like all about being like very attractive and like very buff. And like you're none of those things. And it's like so nice. Like it's such a good change of pace.
No, that's and that's part of the reason why I really haven't dated up to this point, because to me, I feel like I am less an attractive or a buff guy and more like a growth that would be removed from an attractive or a buff guy.
Oh my God, you're so crazy. Like what? Like how does your brain even do that right now?
I think it's mostly because of trauma.
Oh my God. Kyle, you're being so crazy. Like seriously.
I'm just trying to be honest, Lorraine. You know,
like,
I can't believe that you would ever agree to date me, even virtually. I feel so lucky right now.
Seriously, Kyle, like, I think honesty is like such a turn on, right? Like, if I can just be totally honest too, like, lately, like, I have just been dating like whoever is like willing to like do what we're doing now, where we can just like interact like with our words, because like, I think it's like I've been sitting still for so long, like I'm like starting to develop rashes like that I've never had before. Yeah. And I know it's not like an STI because I have been out of order, if you know what I mean. But like I have like quite a few rashes and like that, but like I don't need to like expose a rash when I'm talking to you. And that's really important.
Not only do you not have to expose a rash when you're talking to me, I would like to actively encourage you not to.
Oh my God. Like to do is like go out of my house and like just sit somewhere else in public. Like I've been known to do that quite often. Sometimes it's a bar, sometimes it's a restaurant, sometimes it's a coffee shop, sometimes it's a mall kiosk. Like
you are so brave. Like I haven't been to most of those places.
What, are you kidding me, Kyle? There's
No,
like a whole world out there. Like,
I've read about them, and in some cases, I have hacked into security cameras so that I can watch them when they're empty, but not with anything else. So you know.
Let me get this straight. You've just been like by yourself, like home alone, like not like going out, like even before the stay-at-home order.
up to this point, no. I have been in isolation, and it's because I have been waiting for you.
Oh my God, Kyle, this is like the most romantic thing anyone's ever told me. Oh my God, Kyle, I feel like I could read some of my poetry to you. Or I feel like I could create a poem about you. Okay, I'm just gonna freestyle for a second.
Oh my God, no one has ever done this for me before, and I really hope that it lasts several minutes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go traditional spelling here, but okay. K is for Kyle. Kyle, Kyle, Kyle. Y is for why. Why have we waited so long to be together? L is for love or potentially lust. At this point, I'll take either. And E is for evermore. It's like a band, but it's not. It's a word. Kyle.
That was beautiful. I want to hug you like a waterfall right now, Lorraine.
Oh my God, that is so sweet, Kyle. Seriously.
All right, and cut. Let's hear it for Lorraine, everybody.
Bye, Kyle. Bye, everyone.
Also known as Lauren Anderson of the Brave New Workshop. I feel like that is pretty much the epitome of all online relationships right now. I think they all pretty much unfurl just exactly like that. Well, thank you all so much for joining us here this week. We're so glad that you could drop by. Again, if you would like to support the Brave New Workshop, you can do so at any one of the links that are supplied in the social media descriptions of this streaming show or at bravenewworkshop.com if that's where you happen to be watching. Thanks again to Lauren Anderson for joining me here this week. We will be back again next week with a new episode. And thank you most of all to all of you for taking time out of your Saturday night to spend some of it with us. We hope that you have a wonderful week, and we will see you again soon. Good night, everybody.